Hey guys, and welcome back to some more Factorio sending supporters to space. And we're in the base here, almost done with Worker Robot Speed 5. I did a stream earlier today. It was a pretty short one, only about an hour and a half. But I worked out the rails. So what I've decided is to do right-hand drive. And the reason I've decided that is a couple things. So I'm going to run over here to show you one or two things, and then we'll get started on setting up finishing the train lines and setting up the copper outpost, because that's pretty important. We don't have hardly any copper. This thing is just dead. So first off on the stream, I got a proper right-hand drive junction signaled, and that would be here. And I did that by using a 3-wide gauge essentially. And you can do it with 2-wide. It's just kind of weird in my opinion, so I'd prefer this. Now, the one that I had demonstrated previously, which I think I have now at this point actually torn up. The one I demonstrated last episode that I thought was correct wasn't quite correct. It was missing a couple signals. This is actually, this was confirmed by many people on the stream to be correct. So, essentially, same principles apply pretty much. We have normal signals before a merge onto this, and like same here before merging onto this and before these two merge. Or this one is more for after a crossing. This one, before two merge, and then same with this one. But then the chains are just before a crossing, right? So before this crossing we have a chain, before this crossing a chain, and then same with this direction for here for this crossing, and then this for this way. This actually has some that are not quite needed. I believe that this one here, and this one here are not actually needed technically, but they may increase throughput just very, very slightly, and I would rather use a couple extra signals and have pretty much any higher throughput than the other way around. So this is our junction for right-hand drive. So that's one reason, because I got it to work, that we're going to use right-hand drive. And these bugs are signing their death wish, man. The other reason is, one, it's going to require me to make my own rails, which I think is going to be interesting and a good learning experience for myself and you guys. Because I haven't done much with right-hand drive trains, and also I'm just not super experienced with trains to begin with. So, doing the junctions and such is going to kind of help me learn, and then help you guys learn as I learn, I guess. It's going to be a challenge, in other words, and I kind of want to challenge myself and build differently, kind of like I have. Oh, sweet, that's done. Previously in the series, I've built my own builds. I've built different type of builds than I normally would. So that's kind of the other main reason. And then it just brings some uniqueness to the series, I think, just because so many people do left-hand drive, I think. At least in terms of like YouTube, or not necessarily YouTube, but series. Will does them, Mojo does them. So that's what we're gonna do. Anyway, we're using 3-wide gauge because it's easier for me to signal, and I actually kind of like it. So with that, the other thing I did on stream is I created a 3-wide gauge straight section that is perfectly fitted for a 242. You can see that I even labeled it 2-lane 242 spacing, and I'm gonna explain this. I've already placed some of them. I came back here for something. I think I need some more track, and then some more power poles would probably be good. But there's still quite a few to be done. We need some different intersections, and then also I'm going to be using 242s for the rest of this particular base, just because that's what we already use. And I'm going to be using 2-lane track for this particular base here, because we don't need anything bigger. Once we transition to Mega Stage, which isn't super far off, honestly, we're going to go to at least 4-lane, potentially 8-lane, and much bigger trains. And I will design those once we get there, or maybe beforehand. But for right now, we only need this 2-lane space for 242s. So how I space this for a 242 is the signaling length, essentially. It is good practice to have, and I've explained this, I think, in the previous episode, maybe not, so I'll restate it. It's good practice to have the distance between two signals essentially as long as your longest train. That way a train can actually fit in between two signals. So what I've done here is I've spaced this so that between this signal and this signal, you can fit a 2-4-2 train, which is essentially 8 segments, 4 of which are cargo wagons, 4 of which are locomotives. And then the same would apply to this side, between it, because it's spaced the same. So between this signal and this signal, so on and so forth. I believe this looks a little short. Let me double check this. Oh dear. So I'm just going to use cargo wagons as, so that would be a second locomotive, 1, 2, 3, 4 wagons, 1, 2. He sticks a little bit past, but this one would actually be pulled up slightly further, I think. And the signals, I have noticed previously when playing that the train can actually stick a little bit farther out than you would think for it to be in the signal block. In fact, what we can do is if we hit F4, we show rail blocks. There you go. So these different colors is actually a really good way to do it. So like from here to here is one rail block, and from this yellow square, which we are pretty much in, I mean there's a graphic, but you can see the hit box is essentially in there. It's not in this one. And then from there to here is, again, we're inside it, is another rail block. And then the white is another one, red is another one. So this is my spacing essentially. This can be really, really helpful. People on stream actually kind of told me about this. I didn't know much about it previously. So if you go to F4 and turn this on, that can be a really nice way to check that. So anyway, there's my spacing. So what I've done is I've essentially just created a blueprint that has that spacing, and it has, that's what this is. And it has a signal on the top and a signal on the bottom, because when you place it, essentially as you overlap it and tile it, the signal opposite will fill in. That may not have made sense. You'll see once I start doing it. I've also tied in red and green wires to it, and I've spaced the power poles so they are evenly spaced, meaning that this middle power pole is exactly centered between the other two power poles, and the power poles are centered between the rails, so it's pretty much good to go in my mind. So what I've done is I've started placing this, because this is going to be our main line. I'm building it next to these two because I still want these trains to run right while I'm building this. We are going to have to shut down the iron one though, because we need to cross it, and then we need a T-junction, which I should have blueprinted had I been smart. So what you do with this is you overlap this power pole. You can see it's blue, which means it's overlapping, and the signal down here at the bottom, right on that bottom part, then becomes opposite the top one, and it works. So again, I'm going to have to cross this, which is going to give me a no path error for that train, but he's in the station, so it's actually a good time to do this. I don't really want to cut off power though, so we're just going to cut off the rail. But I think it should be interesting. It'll be a good learning experience because, I'll have to design four lane things, which in itself, the straight ones aren't that difficult at all. But then like intersections, like a T-junction for a 4-lane system is harder than a 2-lane, same, and then 8-lane is even more complicated. But yeah, so it'll be kind of, I think, a good change. And also the 3 gauge, I think, is a bit different than a lot of people do. I mean, I know quite a few people who do it, but like Will and pretty much everyone you see me play with doesn't do it. So I think it's kind of just, it just brings uniqueness to the series, I think. And we may go to left-hand drive when we change maps, like I said before. I don't know. Did I seriously just use... Okay, I was like, dude, I just made like 20 of those. No way did I use them all. And once these are done, I will share these. I will share a blueprint book. Obviously, all I have now is a T-junction and a straight, which I'm not quite ready. I want a little more than that before I share it, but I will share these with you if you want to use this. Like I said, these were approved on stream by multiple people who are very knowledgeable with trains. So I am pretty confident that these are good designs. Now, in terms of mojos, people asked last episode, and I meant to mention it and I forgot. Sorry about that. But mojos, these blueprint books for mojos, on my Patreon, you can get them there. The rail books, the rail blueprint books, rather, are shared publicly on my Patreon. So even if you're not a Patreon, you can access those. Obviously, there's tons of stuff that is only available to Patreons or patrons. But The blueprint books are available publicly there if you want to use Mojos. They're really, really good. And the link to my Patreon is always in the description and at the end of all of my videos on my end screen. So if you do want Mojos, that's where you can find them. So yeah, there you go. And we're just going to build this along and until we run out of something, essentially, is what the deal is. The robots are faster. I did knock out 1 or 2 mining productivity researches as well. I would be doing research now, except for the fact that I'm not sure I want to be doing research when my iron train is not going to work. So, yeah. I'm going to just yoink these trees out of the ground and just clear this. I have auto trash on. I think it's fine for our bots to do it. Now that we have faster bots, I do have three roboports, sorry. 28 bots, so we're 2 short of the maximum. I would like Roboport Mark IIs, but I wasn't quite ready to build them yet. So I'm just going to kind of clear a path. We are heading out to this copper outpost thing, and I cleared this around here on stream. This base is a bit dangerous. I didn't quite have enough ammo and stuff, tank durability and repair packs to quite take that on, so we will have to do that at some point because it is probably going to be a bit of a problem, I'd imagine. The biters seem pretty angry after they watched me slaughter all their neighbors. So, a lot of fun was had. Alright, so we're just going to build this. You know, like I said, I'm not going to do a ton of this on episode, but I figured with the new rails and doing all this, it would be worth showing on an episode. And then we also, I mean, we pretty much need this copper outpost to continue much else. So, figured I'd do it on episode because I don't really have time to do it off episode and then record like 2 episodes, you know, afterwards, unfortunately, tonight. Because I was very busy today. And it looks like we're out of a power pole. Great. Well, time to head back. Speaking of busy. Sorry, I thought I messed up there. Speaking of busy, I'm really behind on comments. You may have noticed, like the last 4 episodes, 5 episodes, I haven't responded to comments. I mentioned this before, but I feel it is worth reiterating. I have read almost all of them. I may have missed a couple, but I've read almost all of them. I just have not had time to actually go through and respond to all of them because that does take significantly longer. I will do that. I think tomorrow, Saturday, I will set aside a couple hours and just kind of go through them. I'm like 200 comments behind. But like I said, I have read them, so I'm not ignoring you. Well, I mean, I guess in a sense I am by not responding, but not like purposely. I've just been, you know, I'm busy, and it takes a while. It takes a while to respond to that many comments. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy to do it. I love doing it. I love talking to you guys. But I just wanted to give you kind of a quick update there that, you know, you may not have seen me respond to any comments in the last quite few videos, but I will be doing that very soon. And I did see them. So I'm going back. Need some power poles. So wow. Are we? Wow. Okay. We apparently have no stone outpost or outpost patch anymore. When did that happen, man? I did not notice this, like, being close to done. Okay, well, apparently we need a stone train because we have 0 brick. We have this much brick. That's all we have. Wow. Okay. I know I said wow a lot, but geez, I really didn't think that thing was close to being mined out. I mean, a stone outpost I think would be pretty easy to get. There's a stone patch like right by the coal. And then also, well, there's one down there that's not really where I want to go. Copper. Okay, so these, right, power poles. I'm just gonna grab a ton of stuff, so I hopefully don't have to come back. I'm gonna make sure to blueprint the T-junction because we will definitely need that. So more rails, more signals, maybe. I'll grab some more signals just in case. Like that. Grab some more rails. And then I better grab some stuff to actually make a train. It would be it would be pretty irritating if I got out there and had no train materials. So let's go over to whatever the hell area it is. Is it this one? Yeah. Here's our normal engines. So there's that, and then we already have the cargo wagons. I would like stack inserters for this. Oh man, these things are expensive. These things are really expensive. Actually, these things are like insanely expensive circuit-wise. And then they also need a lot of gears. I might as well just grab a ton of gears too. And we'll just make a ton of these. We need at least 24. I don't necessarily have to have stack inserters on the belt side, so that's probably okay for now. Belt. Speaking of belt, how big is that? That's a pretty big patch. I'm not sure that I'll need red belt. I probably should take some anyway. I need to change my auto trash because I'm gonna need more than 100 yellow belt. Let's take some red belt, and then yellow belt I'll go grab from our other box. Why are you taking? Didn't I just change that? Damn it. Let's see, what else can I get rid of? Don't need the extra engines. Don't need the electric furnaces. Because we need, what do we need? We need miners. I never seem to bring enough. Stop! Okay. Screw you. Let's do like 600. Oh, that's how much. No. Auto trash. Wait, that's how many I wanted. I thought this was the amount I wanted to keep. You idiots. Just give me my freaking belt back, guys. Come on. Okay. Oh my goodness. Miners. 125 should be pretty good. Grab some power poles. I actually already had these made. I'm a derp. Okay. Now we just need a blueprint of our T-junction, and we should be pretty much good to go. See if I actually need all this. Don't need that one because I've already built it. I can just re-blueprint it. Okay, so here is our proper T-junction now. Really, for this to be proper, it should have power poles. I grabbed Mojo's for an example here. So you can see his has the power poles. It's like the size, if I could actually talk, the size is like so that it actually has power poles spaced correctly and stuff, and it has a radar, which is nice. I think I need to do that. For now, I'm just going to grab a blueprint because, you know, this could take me 20 minutes to OCD the power poles in and stuff. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to run back over. And I know people are probably going to be saying, because people have already said, you know, Xterm, why don't you use Farl? It's so much faster. Wow. That was almost bad. Well, at this point, it probably is faster, but later on, it's really just not. Like, once I get, I don't know. I know I probably have really bad logic here, but sure, I could use it now, but it's only going to be for a tiny bit. And it's like, I feel like I might as well just use bots. Because, sure, I think you can like program blueprints into it, but by the time I get that working and figured out how, I could have just built the track. And then later on, it's like once you get a couple Mark II roboports and, you know, like 60 bots, I don't think Farl is actually any faster. And it's really glitchy, I think. Well, I don't want to say glitchy. It's actually not. It's probably worked out pretty well, but like the curves, I think, are wonky. And even if you implement blueprints, like I said, by the time I actually get the blueprint thing working, I could have just built this entire track anyways. I don't know. I'm not going to use Farl. Essentially is the point I'm getting to here. What the hell, man? Place the fucking track. Okay, so there's that. Get rid of those. I think we have like a worm friend over here somewhere. See a little red dot. Okay, yeah, I actually didn't need to pre-clear these trees. The bots will clear things that are in the way. There we go. I better move back so these guys can actually charge and stuff. Oh no, why are you going over there? Oh my goodness. Come on guys, you need to build these rails first. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna grab them out of the air. That does actually speed them up. It is a little glitchy of a way to do it. Ouch. You stupid worm, you shoot my bots. Now going through a forest like this, some people think it's like ugly or whatever going through a forest. I think it's kind of cool. Like riding a train through just like through a forest like this where there's barely room for the tracks. I think that's kind of cool, but I may be alone in that. Now there is a pretty big base over there. We do have a tank on us if we need it. We don't have much ammo. That base is actually dangerously close. Like actually, actually really close. I'm gonna clear these guys out, I think, soon. Wow, yeah, this is gonna be pretty intense riding through here. Like this forest, I can't even see a damn thing. I'm just hoping these power poles are overlapping correctly and I'm getting the signals in. The signal's like buried under a tree in some shrubbery. Okay, so there's that, and I should probably end this episode. I'm guessing I'm over time. I should keep a timer, but you know me. I forget to even set the damn timer to begin with, and then even when it went off, I would probably still keep going for a few minutes. So I'd really like to make it to this outpost. How many? Okay. I don't know why I keep putting this blueprint away. I should just... Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. We're apparently just going to drive across the damn thing. This is why we need a curve. Because, I mean, I need to do a T-junction to go to it, but, like, I need a curve to go around it because I really don't want to drive over it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Put these in the wrong damn place. We'll also need to go down. Well, we'll figure that out, because the T-junction needs to go, like, here anyways. In fact, will this just work here? It's a little far away, is the problem. I almost need... I'm gonna have to think on this, how I actually want to tie this in. I'll think on that for a minute. But anyway, this is a good spot to end the episode. We at least made it out here. And yeah, anyway, guys, I think that will do it. I will probably set up this, or at least figure out the track to it off camera and maybe start setting up some mines. And then next episode, we will continue from there and see what else I can get planned. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, as always, down in the comments. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.